What revolting treatment by Sergei Lavrov today. He's just a thug, isn't he? He is just a thug. And I thought Liz Truss held her own.
Yes, he's a complete ignoramus. He's actually been loathed by various US administrations. Hilariously, he's known as, for 10 years, Russia's greatest diplomat. Well, he hasn't been very diplomatic in the last 24 hours. And that's because he's like a bear with a sore head. The bottom line is the United Kingdom have the cojones in the form of Liz Truss to stand up to Russia, to send 1,000 troops to the area, to offer support to Poland, and to say to Ukraine, we want you to come into NATO and join the civilized world. We've seen sellouts from Germany and France. You know, Macron, who is the ultimate coward, is trying to pitch the idea of what he's calling the Finlandization of Ukraine, in which they should be neutral and neither take NATO or any other supernatural military force. The bottom line is that the Ukraine want to join the West, and they are very welcome. I'm not worried about this saber rattling. I think Liz Truss should be flattered, because clearly she's touched a raw nerve, and I think she acquitted herself very well on the international stage.
Mark, I agree with you, though. You're very clear. We should stop appeasing Russia just like we should stop appeasing China.
Well, this is it. And of course, China is a greater foe for a number of economic and military reasons. But it's important as a test case that we're firm with Putin. I think that, unfortunately, there's been a theme of surrender from the West since that pathetic Allied withdrawal from Afghanistan, which was a white flag to terrorists and rogue states around the world. And of course, that all happened on the watch of possibly the worst president in recent memory, in living memory, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe. So, you know, we don't have the best partners in Washington at the moment. And we know, for example, that the Europeans, particularly Macron and the Germans, are very in hoc to Russia. The Germans need Russian gas, and the Germans are going to approve this special Nord Stream 2, which is a pipeline which would give them energy for years to come. So they're very compromised. So it's up to Britain to show a stand on a global stage. You know, the Russians are bullies. In the end, Russia is a small country. They're a small economy. Yes, they've got 100,000 troops on the ground. The bottom line is Ukraine is twice the size of Germany. They also have people and a military that will fight to defend their country. The Russians have got no chance in the Ukraine in the long term. So this is politics. It's theatre. It's saber rattling. Yes, Russia is a threat, but I think most of it is talk. Most of it is politics, Dan. And unfortunately, what Putin is doing is he's capitalizing on this massive power vacuum in the West.